The following segment is sponsored by Providence Health and Services. This segment of Afternoon Live is brought to you by Family Matters.
Health and education, safety, and the quality of life. KATU and our partners are proud to bring you Family Matters, offering solutions to the hard questions.
Because KATU and Providence Health and Services know that family matters.
Welcome back to Afternoon Live. If your kids are preparing for some big changes this new school year, our next guest has some great advice to help with the transition. We welcome back Chief Executive of Providence Behavioral Health in Oregon, Dr. Robin Henderson. It's great to see you.
It is so good to see you too.
This is a big time of year for our kiddos of all ages.
All ages. All the transitions, all the things. We're coming off the summer. We're getting back in, back to our jobs of going to school. And that's big change for kids, big change for parents.
True. Are there certain things that kids might be fearful or have some anxiety over, particularly this time of year, beginning into that school transition?
Oh, yeah. There's always the nerves that you get when you go back into the school year. Are my friends going to be there? Are they still going to like me? Am I going to have good teachers? All those things. But the real anxiety comes in the transitions. When we have kids who are going into first grade, this is a whole new experience. Yeah. Going into middle school, that's a huge, scary transition. And going into high school, that gets even worse.
Yeah. And then if you have siblings or friends that may or may not be going with you during those transitions too.
That just reaches out all the fear.
Yeah.
All this change brings about all the scary things that we think about and go, well, this could go wrong and this could go wrong, and we start awfulizing.
Oh gosh, awfulizing. That sounds familiar. Let's talk about, you kind of mentioned the different age groups. Are there certain things that we can watch for or be supportive, like thinking about teens and tweens doing those middle and high school transitions?
For middle school, that's a really scary time because you're going from that very comfortable place in elementary school to where this is where we start to mix it up. School size gets bigger, class size gets bigger, expectation gets bigger. And I don't know if you remember your middle school days, but
it was tough.
It's all the awkwardness of all the hormones and all the things. And this is really that stage where kids start to realize, well, it's about me, right?
Yeah.
It's about me. How do I look? How do I act? What do I do? But it's also about choices. When we get to middle school, we get all these new choices. Can I join a sport? Can I do theater? Can I do choir, band, orchestra, language? All these choices can be really overwhelming.
Right.
And kids get very afraid of, am I going to make the wrong choice? And the reality is, not making a choice is making a choice.
Sure.
And the best part about middle school is you can try things on. You can go try a semester of choir. You can try a semester of band. You can try French. You can try Spanish, depending on what your district is offering. But it's that time when you can try things on and see what you like. And if it doesn't really fit for you, that's okay.
Yeah, and it feels like life or death to them in the moment, but we can kind of help and say, you know what, it's okay, this isn't forever. You can do this for a minute and let me know if you don't want to continue that. Well, and speaking of having more freedom and bigger choices, going to college is a huge transition.
Huge transition, and it's a huge transition for our kids. It's also a huge transition for our parents, especially our parents who get really super involved. I have 2 kids in college, and one of the big things that I learned early on was to join the parent forums. And now that my kids are approaching ending college, those parent forums are a little bit scary.
Yeah.
But they're also really important because it's the place where parents can ask all those questions that your kids don't want you to ask.
Sure.
And you can do it in a safe place. But you really got to think, especially if your kid is going away, how am I going to support my kid from a distance?
There you go.
What are the care packages? I see things like parents asking, where's the great place to order cupcakes from? Where's the great place that I can send my kids some soup if they're not feeling good? So thinking through those types of things that help support them where they are, as opposed to the solution always be, well, why don't you come home for the weekend?
Sure, right, because you've raised them. The goal is that they can be independent and tackle life, but you can support them and let them know with a little care package or a treat that you've still got their back.
We're still there for you. And it's important, especially when you have younger siblings at home.
Yeah.
Schedule those FaceTime calls. Make sure that there's a routine, because if you've got kid going off to college and kid going into middle school, that connection between those two is still important. So having the ability to have maybe it's a Sunday afternoon call or a Wednesday evening call or whatever it is, to make sure that they stay connected and that they have their ability to be together too.
That's really sweet. Even with big age differences, that sibling bond is always so important.
Oh yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. It was great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Happy back to school season. I just can't believe it's already here.
I know. I'm super excited, and we'll be talking more about this as the year goes on.
We're going to get through all of it. Hey, for more information about Providence Pediatric Psychiatry and Mental Wellness Services, just head to our website at katu.com/familymatters, and we'll